That awkward moment when you finish up your video and see that you've left your microphone on mute and have to record it all over again. What could possibly go wrong, right? Oh well, that doesn't matter. I really enjoyed speaking about the last video despite the fact that I didn't hear it when I was reviewing it. So let's talk about it again. Hello, my name's Red. Welcome back to an episode of Red Talk. And today we're going to be talking about something that exists in every gamer's life. People make mention of it. They talk about it. They never really go into depth of as to how large it may be or how small it may be. But it is real and it's there. And of course, I'm talking about the backlog. Many a gamer I know have sat there and said, oh, I've got a backlog, I've just really got to try and finish these games. I really want to try and finish this one up before this one comes out if it's a sequel. I just got to finish up the prequel, got to get it done because I've just got to see, like, I've got to refresh the story in my mind and get ready. Whatever it may be, however many games are in your backlog, whether it be one game or 100 games, every gamer nowadays has a backlog. Has something that they have really enjoyed and wanted to finish, and then out of nowhere another game like sideswipes them, blindsides them, and they sit there and they go, I'll play that and then I'll come back to this one. We've all heard it. We all know that that's the case. We all know that that happens. So why are we saying that we want to go back? Well, maybe there's a game that we really enjoyed. Maybe it's a game that, you know, if we're a casual gamer, we turn around and sit there and go, I'm going to play this every night for maybe an hour before I go to bed, and I'm just going to unwind for the day, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to finish this game 1 hour at a time. And you do it. You sit there for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, you put like 40 hours in, you sit there and you go, man, I'm actually getting there. I'm enjoying this game, it's so good. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it ends. If you're an achievement hunter, I'm going to try and get, or a platinum hunter, I'm going to try and get those. I'm going to try and finish it up 100% so I can tick it off my list. And then maybe if it's a physical copy, I might trade it in, or I can uninstall it off my machine and just let it go from there. And then what happens? One day, you'll be talking to a friend, you'll be on YouTube, you'll be maybe talking to someone on Twitter or Facebook, or you'll see a post advertising a new game. And maybe it's that game that you've been really looking forward to. And you sit there and you go, oh man, I didn't realize that was out yet. I thought they'd pushed it back and they hadn't. And now it's out. Or maybe it's, you know, your friends are talking to you about it. And the more they talk about it, the more you sort of sit there and go, man, I really want to play that. I want to try it. And they tell you, dude, you're going to absolutely love this game if you play it. You should play it with us if it's an online game. You know, and you get suckered in. So what happens? You're walking down the street one day, maybe you're perusing your eShop, like Steam or Epic, or whatever it may be, and you see it. It's there. If you're out on the street, you walk past your local store, and you can see it. It's on the shelf. It's waiting. People are picking it up. People are walking out with it, you know, and it's there. It's on the top sellers list of Steam or Epic, and you click on it. You walk into the shop, and you pick up the box. You read the back, you read a bit of the information, you have a look at some of the images. If you're looking at it on Steam or something like that, you have a look at like the discussion board. Okay? You look at the discussion board, you look at some of the screenshots, and maybe you switch over to YouTube. Have a look at the review. It's reviewing really well. People are loving it. You have a look at the Metacritic score. Some of the early Metacritic scores for the gamers, not the reviewers, are coming in, and it's positive. It looks amazing. It plays amazing. It sounds great. It controls well. There's no lag. It's balanced. And what do? Well, let's be honest. You've already put it in your shopping cart. You've already taken it to the counter and purchased it, and you're walking out of the store currently with it. You take it home, or you install it and update it, and you can turn it on. You think to yourself, I'm going to play a little bit, just a taste. You know, I'll go back to my game that I was playing for the last 4 weeks, or 5 weeks. I've dropped 40 hours into it, I'm going to go back to it. You know, of course I'm going to go back to it. And what happens? One night for an hour becomes 2, becomes 3, becomes 4, so on. It's even worse if it's a multiplayer game and you're playing with your mates, you're playing with your friends. Every night you're getting into that team, you know, you're killing the next big bad, or you're grinding for new weapons or equipment or whatever it may be. You know, you're trash talking the losing team. But that old game sits there, either on your hard drive or in its cover, waiting to be played again. And then you walk past one day, or you open up Steam or Epic, whatever it is, and you see it, and it's there. And you sort of go, man, I really enjoyed that game. Oh, look. If it's on Steam, you're sitting there going, oh, look, I've already put 40 hours into it. You know, if you're playing it on your console, you turn around and you say, I put a lot of time into that. I really should go back. And you don't just say that in your head. You say it out loud to yourself. I really should go back and replay that and finish it up. I know I've nearly finished. I know I was enjoying it. I should go back and finish it. It comes to time where you sit down and you play those games again. You got your hour again to play a game. And what happens? What happens? All your friends are online. Or you got to a really interesting part in that new game. And what happens? Oh, I'll just go back and do that. I'll play it the next night. It gets put aside one more time. You can't really tell your friends that, oh, no, I'm going to go and play this tonight. Especially if you're in on the game and you're getting really competitive with it and it's fun. The gameplay loop's enjoyable. So it sits there, and sits there, and sits there. What happens when the next game comes out and all of a sudden your friends are talking about that? What happens to that first game? It doesn't get picked up again. It doesn't get looked at a second time. Because the game that you just picked up and were playing with your friends is now on top of it if it's a physical game. Right? If it's on your Steam profile, it's already non-thought about. You automatically, without looking, go down to the game that you've just purchased and ignore the first two. And this vicious cycle continues and continues and continues until, say, 12 months later, you look again. Oh yeah, I really enjoyed playing that game. I can't remember why I enjoyed playing that game. I can't remember some of the story. I guess I have to restart it. And then you start playing it. If you get that far and you start replaying it, what happens? You sit there and go, oh, I remember this. Yeah, I liked it, but I don't really want to see it again. What else happens? And in the end, you just go back to the game that you just currently purchased the night before, or you've walked out of the shop with the night before. It's installed on your hard drive, you're ready to go. And now you've got 2 games on your backlog instead of 1. The backlog is very real, people, and I think we need to acknowledge and pay a little bit of respect to the backlog. However, is there ever a time where the backlog is good? Like, it's nice to go to the backlog. And I'm going to say yes. I'm currently experiencing a game off my backlog, which I played when I was a child, and I really wanted to play again. And I know what you're saying is like, is that really a backlog game because you finished it? And I'm going to say yes, it is, because my perception of it as a child as opposed to my perception of it as an adult will probably be quite different, and as a result I feel like I'll have a newfound respect for the game despite the fact finding it really enjoyable the first time. That game is Final Fantasy IX, and at the moment for myself I have a few games that have interested me for 2020. I'll give you the list. I have mentioned this list before, but I will mention it again. It's the Yakuza Remaster, Final Fantasy VII, Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal, Persona 5 Royal, Cyberpunk 2077, that one's a no-brainer, Dying Light 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Halo Infinite, Bravely Default 2, Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon, Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered, SpongeBob SquarePants because I played it as a child, Starfield, Destroy All Humans if that game comes out this year, and so on and so forth, whatever else I may find. Now, I can't afford all of these games this year, so I've had to make, obviously, and I'm sure many of us have done this, we have to make a choice. What am I going to spend my limited resource on? Well, I've already made my decision, aside from Temtem, which was kind of an impulse buy, which I really shouldn't have done, but it's already happened now. But I've made my decision as to the other games that I'm going to purchase this year, and I don't really foresee myself purchasing any other games this year. I'm going to eat my words very quickly, I can guarantee you on that. But the perception at the moment, as of today's date, the 29th of January, when I'm recording this video, will state that I I won't do it, but I know I'm gonna do it. So the games I've decided to purchase are Doom Eternal, Cyberpunk 2077, and the Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? If I don't finish Final Fantasy IX before Doom or Final Fantasy comes out, I'm gonna put it aside and I'm not gonna play it. Which is exactly what I was talking about when we were just discussing the backlog and the bit of the story we were having. You know, so I'm trying to finish that game while still enjoying that game. And unfortunately, because Temtem's come out, I have stopped playing Final Fantasy for the last couple of days. So, but in saying that, if I did not pick up Temtem, Final Fantasy IX, I can chip off the backlog as an adult and say, I really enjoyed that game and it's done. I feel like the backlog, despite it being maybe huge, can still play a role in your gaming diet, let's say, for the lack of a better word. Okay? And I know the backlog nowadays is seemingly a graveyard for games rather than a destination for games that I will return to. But the idea behind it is, while I'm waiting for the 3 games that I have decided that I will purchase, and I am very excited for, it's a perfect time to sit back and play something that maybe I missed. You know, maybe something I've either played as a child or played partially and I wanted to finish up. This is the time, you know, and the more I sort of look at it and go, if I only stick to those 3 games, at the end of the year when I make my top 5, top 10 video, whatever it may be, you're going to see games that are from my backlog. You know, you're going to see games that maybe I hadn't played for a couple of years. You know, everyone's talking about the current year's games, but we forget so quickly how many good games there were in previous years. You know, and I for one don't want to miss out on them. So, you know, I think a backlog is still a very important part of our gaming diet, part of our gaming regime, because we are looking at games that, as I said, have been neglected but shouldn't be forgotten. And with the last couple of years, you know, with the amount of behemoth games that did come out, it's nice to know that we can somehow return to them, you know. But I'm probably the minority in that respect. I feel like there's probably a lot of people that will find the next game, jump straight on it, and that's it. Because, to be honest, I was one of them until I realized how big my backlog was. So I will share with you my backlog currently, and now keep in mind before I tell you this number, my backlog consists of games that I've not played before ever, games that I've played a little bit of, and games that I've completed that I just wish to revisit. You know, a perfect example of that is I'm about due for another replay of Pokemon Blue. Okay, I really enjoy Pokemon Blue, and it's been maybe 15, 16 months since I played Pokemon Blue, and I'm going to replay it. I love Pokemon Blue. Okay, I think I said it in my Pokemon video that I return to it every 12 to 18 months because it just holds such a special place in my memory, and I just really enjoy the game. So, you know, but my backlog consists of over 100 titles, which I feel is not really that large. You know, a lot of people sit there and go, 100 titles, you must be kidding me. But, as I said, they're not all games that I've purchased and never played. You know, they are maybe games that I just want to find and replay again. So, you know, can I crop it down? Yeah, I reckon I probably could crop it down, as many of us could. But they are there and they're real. The backlog. It is what it is. And I feel like as we get even more and more spoiled for choice, that backlog's only going to get bigger. But, you know, at least we have Cyberpunk coming out this year. goodbye everything else when that happens. Final Fantasy VII Remake, if you're not finished by then, bye. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We're going to leave it there. My name's Red. Okay, this has been a Red Talk, just discussing the backlog. Having a bit of a fun, bit of a powwow. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Please, leave a comment down below telling how many games you have in your backlog, or one particular game that you have in your backlog that you wish that you would go back and finish, but because of all the games that are out now, you don't have time to do it. Who knows? Be fair, share down below, give this video a like. I want to see 5 new subscribers by the end of the start of the next video. Let's see if we can get 5 new subs. That would be awesome. So smash that subscribe button, smash the like button, ring that bell so you're notified as to when I upload and how I upload. Let's Play videos will come in at 11 o'clock Melbourne time every morning. These Red Talks are Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and they'll just be as they come out at this stage. I haven't really set a time. We will get to that just as I sort of work them out a little bit more. And then you'll get first impressions and maybe some reviews thrown into the mix as well. We're not too sure as to what's happening with those yet, but we'll get to that when that happens. With that, my name's Red, and I will see you next time. I'm out.